The season has not gone the way the Pioneers had hoped. This extremely young team will bid adieu to their one and only senior today as Ade Murkey plays his final regular season game for the Pioneers. Oh, Ade Murkey! But it is an important one. A victory today against Western Illinois will put the Pios into the league tournament, which they did not qualify for a year ago. Playing in the postseason will give this young team a springboard into next year. And a win today would cure a lot of what has been a tough season. It's the Pioneers and the Leathernecks, and it's next on Altitude Sports. We are on the campus at the University of Denver for the final regular season game. It comes to you from Hamilton Gymnasium, a place the Pioneers have been victorious 2 previous times, looking for a third today, and it's a big one against the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. Hello, everyone. Todd Romero alongside my partner, Greg Lackey, and you want to get to the last game of the season. If you're struggling, if you get a chance to get in, that's a good thing.
It is, and again, here we are at the end of February. And what does March bring?
Madness.
Madness it is. And for these two teams, if you want to get into the tournament, you got to win today.
Let's take a look at the conference standings and where things stand. North Dakota State, if they win today, would be the number 1 seed, meaning whoever wins between Denver and Western Illinois would play them in the first round of the Summit League tournament next week. And that would be good to get into the postseason tournament. For Ade Murkey, 4 years. He was Rodney Billups' first recruit coming from Minnesota. He became just the 8th player in Division I history to have 42 points and 11 rebounds on the road earlier this month.
We say this every year on Senior Day. Where has 4 years gone? This young man came into this program as an athlete. Todd, he's leaving as a basketball player. He's really done a great job in just improving his skill set. You know, shooting that ball from the 3, putting it on the floor and getting to the basket, making his teammates better, being a great example and leader in practice. And again, just a complete all-around player that is going to leave this program very proud.
Yeah, we'll have a chance to play overseas. On the other side of the floor, one player you're going to have to control is Kobe Webster, averaging 17.3 a game. He's nearing the 1,500-point plateau for his career.
Well, those 17.3 is good for 6th in the Summit League. Leads the Leathernecks. For Denver today, it's going to be really important that they find him in transition, get him slowed down, and don't allow him to get into that paint and make other teammates better.
Well, this is a big game for the Pioneers, a win and they're in. Same thing for Western Illinois. So when you get to the last game of the regular season, there is something on the line to play for, and both teams will give it their all. We have the tip coming your way next, right here on Altitude Sports.
Metro by T-Mobile, Tamira rules. While setting her sights, refining her skills, and taking the steps to move up. She's putting in the work to get promoted to center court. Thanks to the best unlimited plan in wireless. Get 1 line of unlimited, just $40 when you switch. All on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Metro by T-Mobile. That's all Tamira needs to rule her day.
Denver hosts Washington, San Jose State, and Alaska Sunday, March 8th at 2 p.m. Get your tickets at denverpioneers.com.
What's the difference between good and great? Good is when your haircut costs less. Great is when it still meets high standards. At Great Clips, you'll always get the haircut you want for less. And with our easy online check-in app, you'll save time, too. Great Clips. It's gonna be great. What's the difference between good and great? Good treats you like a customer. Great treats you like a friend. From saving your haircut details and clip notes to saving you time with online check-in, Great Clips makes your life easier, just like a great friend should. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Pioneer Basketball on Altitude is presented by Champion Windows. We design, build, install, and guarantee it. By Breckenridge Brewery, proud sponsor of Denver Athletics. By Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Denver Pioneers. By U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Denver Pioneers. And by your hometown Toyota stores, proud to be the exclusive automotive partner of your DU Pioneers. Welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium, and Ade Murkey honored on Senior Day, the only senior for the Pioneers, as you see head coach Rodney Billups hug his family, and what an impact he's had on this program, Greg, and what a great young man, and we've seen him grow in this past 4 years.
He really has, and again, just a great example for a young Denver team and how beneficial it's been for them to follow a day throughout this season.
Yeah, and he will definitely have some opportunities to play overseas. Let's get you starting lineups for today's game. Taylor Gatlin on one guard, and as well as Ade Murkey, Robert Jones, Tristan Green, and Jace Townsend will round out the starters for the DU Pioneers, coached by Rodney Billups. For Western Illinois and head coach Billy Wright, it'll be Kobe Webster, CJ Duff, Zion Young, Ben Pyle, and number 42, Kyle Arrington. They are coming off a 113-70 loss in their last game to Oral Roberts. Let's take a look at tonight's game, brought to you by Champion Windows. Greg?
Hey, one of those is get off to a fast start. You mentioned it at Oral Roberts. They're giving up 113 points. If Denver can, again, get out of the gates, it might dampen the enthusiasm for the Leathernecks. And then the second one, hold them under 70. Again, it's all going to get down to defending, and especially you get into March, you've got to be able to defend.
Well, for the Pioneers and head coach Rodney Billups, a victory here, as you see coach there, would get them into the league tournament. Same for head coach Billy Wright for Western Illinois. And again, the Pioneers' last game was against Oral Roberts. They scored 100 points. The Leathernecks scored 70 in a 113-70 loss, and he's 53 and 119 in his career at Western Illinois. And here we go. This is a big game for the 8th slot in the Summit League, and the tip is controlled and won by Kyle Arrington, and back to Kobe Webster.
Gatlin's going to get the assignment here early on Webster.
Put your best defender on your best scoring threat on the other team. That's going to be let go from 3 and tossed up by Ben Pyle. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Kyle Arrington, so the offensive board comes his way.
I tell you, Gatlin has fought through so many injuries this year. Just the fact that he's out there fighting through another 40 minutes.
Robert Jones on the defensive end right there. Great defense. Ball comes out to Ade Murkey. Still looking for the first bucket of the game, as Western Illinois has had 2 opportunities. Bounce pass inside to Robert Jones, looking backdoor. Tristan Green with the reverse slam.
Well, good play by Green there, realizing that ball goes into Jones, and that's what you want to see your 4-man do, is cut away from the basketball. Jones doing a good job finding.
Zion Young with the basketball, trying to penetrate, can't do so, kicks the ball out to Ben Pyle. Pyle now out to CJ Duff. Duff's going to shake, bake, drive, gets it to go off the window, and a foul's going to be whistled here on the rebound.
I'll tell you what, if Rob Jones can add this to his game right here, just finding people in that post area, because of his ability to score in there a little bit, more double teams he's probably going to see.
Well, Rob Jones got to be careful right now, because he picked up that first foul, and the Pioneers are going to be limited as we see Kobe Webster knock down the triple. Pioneers have David Nzekwezi out today. We'll get to the injury report here in a moment, so big man fouls are going to be important for the Pioneers today. Gatlin back up top to Murkey, now to Jace Townsend. Townsend into the lane, dribbling between his legs, got it to go left, off the window, and good.
Good to see him to get off to a good start the other night at Fort Wayne. 9 points is all he got in that game, something completely uncommon for that sophomore.
I like the fact that Taylor Gatlin is picking up Kobe Webster in the backcourt just to give him a little bit of resistance coming up court, maybe perhaps get them late into their offense. Webster's going to let it go from 3. That one no good. Rebound by Ade Murkey. Not only the leading scorer, but the leading rebounder for your Pioneers for this year. Gets a pick from Robert Jones. Baseline jumper is going to go off the window. No good. Rebound's going to come up to Ben Pyle. Pyle over into the corner. Duff thought about it. He's guarded by Robert Jones. He's going to put it up. That three no good. Ade Murkey rips it down. Pioneers up 4-3.
You can't sleep on Duff, another guy that has 1,000 points in his career.
Western Illinois pulled off a shocker last year, beating South Dakota State in the opening round of the tournament. Murkey from three. Pioneers trying to chase it down, unable to do so. The rebound comes to Zion Young. Young's going to let it go from three. That one's too hard. So right now, Western Illinois going to put it up from three, and so far, not finding the range but once. Townsend inside to Robert Jones, thought he was fouled, and he's going to get fouled. Picking up the foul is Kyle Arrington, his first personal.
Well, that's what we've seen from Rob Jones all year long, is when he catches that basketball there in the post area, watch him just attack the basket. Nice drop step, takes on the contact, gets himself to the free throw line.
Bobby Jones.
There was a Bobby Jones from North Carolina.
Was there? And of
Pretty
course,
good.
the golfer. One thing he has to do is improve his free throw percentage for sure. It's time to bring you the injury report, brought to you by Centura Health. And the Pioneers banged up. Ray Kowalski saw him on crutches a moment ago. He's been out for most of the year. David Nzekwezi sprained an ankle just yesterday in practice, and he's unavailable for today. And of course, Joseph Lanzi, undisclosed.
They kind of feel like if they can get through today and get into next weekend, then Nzekwezi might be available.
Pioneers up 5-3 on 1 of 2 free throws, being good. Western Illinois with the turnover. The pass too hot for Zion Young on the baseline.
That time Denver got Western Illinois sped up there a little bit. Leathernecks turn it over. Something they haven't done a lot of. Actually, they've done a pretty good job all year long taking care of the basketball.
James Clark checks into the lineup for Western Illinois. Bounce pass to Robert Jones on the baseline. Jones, long, lanky, and that's a brilliant move.
You know, I think the Pioneers are kind of getting to that point where every time down the floor, Jones, I think, has got to touch that ball in that post area.
The growth we've seen since game 1 until this 10th game that we've had on air of the conference games has been phenomenal, and he'll be a weapon for sure as he goes on in his career. Losing control of the basketball is Pyle. He's dumped on the floor, and the basketball goes out of bounds. Pioneers basketball.
Western Illinois likes to get you spread out. A lot of dribble penetration. Right there, Ade Murkey just pulled the chair out from underneath Pyle.
Ade Murkey up on top. Jump shot. Murkey on the board with the jumper.
The one thing about this Pioneer team all year long is they've continued to play, and right now they're playing with a lot of confidence.
All right, 16:05 to go. Pioneers on top, 9-3. As Western Illinois is going to call their first time out of the day as they cannot find the bucket. Shooting 14%, the Pioneers 67%. Bobby Jones on the baseline. Back in a moment.
Growing up, I was in foster care and I didn't have any family to go to. I was working at an athletic sneakers store. It was long, demanding hours. I was on my feet all the time. I decided that it was time to look more into my passion and my purpose, and foster care was it. So I went on Indeed and looked up foster care, youth advocate, and so many different opportunities came up everywhere. I am currently a youth advocate for You Gotta Believe. The success is even more substantial because I've been through it.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day. He's an incredible companion and my best friend.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, it's gonna be cool.
When I retired from the Navy, I found myself on a void in my life that had been filled by the people that I served with. Tommy really brought an important factor to my life. I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium. The Pioneers up to a 9-3 start here in the first half of the opening 4 minutes. Head coach Rodney Billups drawing up on his board what the Pioneers need to do. And I like the start. You said one of your keys was the fast start, Greg, and they've done that.
Well, they've done it very well, and you just kind of wonder about Western Illinois' psyche here a little bit. After, on the back end of a 2-game road trip, and just how much they might want to see this season come to an end.
Taylor Gatlin doing the job right now on Kobe Webster, who's got 1 bucket. He's the only 3-pointer hit by Western Illinois. Checking into the game is also Anthony Jones. He immediately is part of the foul call on James Clark. Clark was a moving block, a moving pick, and he will be called for the block. It's Pioneers basketball. Gatlin on the perimeter, back upside to Jace Townsend. Townsend looking for a little bit of a pick from Robert Jones. He gets it. Townsend into the lane, off balance. That one's going to be a little bit too hard, trying to find that range. Back the other way, going coast to coast, laying it off the window as Anthony Jones. Foul's going to be on the play, called on the Pioneers, I believe Tristan Green.
I'll tell you what, Jones did a nice job. Green, the only one back there in transition, and he just went right at him, drawing the foul. Get himself to the free throw line.
First one by Anthony Jones. He spins it up and in. Western Illinois off to a 1 of 7 start from the field. Pioneers 4 of 7.
Just kind of get the feeling with the Pioneers that they're settling into a lineup also. For all year long, they've kind of been searching, rotating guys and so forth. Now, all of a sudden, these 5 right here, appear to have gained, the confidence of Coach Billups, and they're playing well.
And you got to have that lineup going into the conference tournament. Maybe it took a while. Right there with the left hand turning into the defense has shown the growth of Robert Jones.
I think there's going to be a rule here soon that every time down, that ball has to touch his hands.
Western Illinois in a 3-minute and 30-second drought scoring the basketball. Kyle Arrington with the rock, and there's going to be a foul on the Pioneers. It may be on Taylor Gatlin.
I tell you what, again, I just marvel at how much this guy's improved during the season. Being able to use his left hand, that's something in November we wouldn't have seen.
That foul may have been called on Tristan Green, and if it is, it's his second personal foul, and Alp Kernaz will make his first appearance of the afternoon. Leathernecks trying to get a roll going here. Arrington with the basketball, dribbles it up, gives it to Webster. Webster penetrating. He's going to kick it back outside. Anthony Jones with the rock. He's going to drive, put the forearm up. Now C.J. Duff. Duff into the lane, gets the sweet roll there. It's 11-7, Pioneers by 4.
Yeah, Murkey couldn't come off of Webster there, so it gave a wide open lane there to Duff.
Kernaz now to Taylor Gatlin. Slow start for Ade Murkey in this one. Just 2 points so far. Robert Jones has 5, leading the way for the Pioneers.
It's a slow start for Murkey, but if Jones is going to play the way he has in the post area, I mean, that is going to cut down some opportunities for Ade, but then Ade can feed off of Jones's activity in that post.
Gatlin loops that one out. It's no good. Back come the Leathernecks. Webster with the rock. He's got Townsend on him. Pyle now with the basketball. Pyle driving, turns, spins, gives it over in the corner to Webster. Hit a 3 from there earlier. That one's off the rim, no good. Ade Murkey with the rebound. Ade shaking and baking off to Gatlin. Gatlin thought about it, kicks it back outside to Murkey. He's going to let it go from 3, spins it around and in, and there's that 3-point shooting.
Yeah, nice job by Taylor Gatlin there, passing on the 3. Instead creates a penetrating pitch play for Murkey.
Murkey came in with 1,201 points. With 26 points today, he'll move into 16th all-time. He's got 5. He's been averaging over 25 points a game for his last 7 games. Webster, no good there, and the rebound comes out to Gatlin. Here's a Murkey on the fly. That one's a little bit too strong. Robert Jones tries for the rebound, can't get it. Back comes Anthony Jones.
Murkey kind of got caught there at a weird angle and just wasn't able to complete the play.
Webster squares up, doesn't have the room. Gatlin's on him. Tries to drive in, works free. Free throw, that one no good. That one's going to stay here, and I don't know if Alp Kernez is going to be called for undercutting Kyle Arrington. That's what I believe it's going to be.
I think Kernez would have been better off there had he not led with that hip. Kind of used his lower body, and foul got called.
Western Illinois gets that bucket to go. That one high off the window as they get inside and get that score. Pioneers work it back outside to Alp Kernez. Right now it's a 14-9 game. Pioneers up by 5. That one loops out as Jace Townsend can't find the range quite yet. 12:49 to go in this first half of play. Western Illinois down 5. Again, the winner of this game clinches a league playoff berth. They will finish 8th and take on the 1 seed, which will be either North Dakota State or South Dakota State in the first round of the Summit League tournament. Arrington backing up Rob Jones, and he's going to be called for the travel. Great defense.
Again, the freshman just continues to get better. His maturity throughout the year. Takes a bounce, and watch him get his hands just straight up.
And that's something that has improved throughout the year because he had bent those hands throughout and got into foul trouble early. Murkey working in low. He's going to elevate. There's that athleticism, and all of a sudden that slow start has turned into 7 points.
Well, Alan Drashan's just too small to try to guard Murkey, especially when Murkey gets into that post area. Not many players in the Summit League can deal with his athleticism.
He has an opportunity to make the Summit League team, at least second team, I would expect, Greg. But first team, he's one of the top 5 players in the league, in my opinion. Powell with the basketball is going to put it on the ground. He's guarded by Murkey. Can't find anything on the baseline. That's going to be a fadeaway jump shot. That's a brick. And Alp Kernez with a rebound now to Roscoe Eastman.
That's a brick and a bad shot.
Eastman with the rock, headed on the baseline. Should have put it up. Kernez is going to launch from 3, and a bank 3. Count it.
I was a little surprised that Kernez made the 3-point sign there with these hands because he didn't even call bank.
Listen,
Come on,
that thing was long and strong, but with that, the Pioneers lead balloons to 10 at 19-9 with 11:17 to go.
Don't you have to call bank, Todd?
In that one, yeah, you do. Even in a game-tossed situation. Anthony Jones is going to put this one up, and right now, Western Illinois cannot find the range. 3 of 14 at that point. Eastman tries to sneak one through. That's going to be picked off, and Deshaun Allen with the basketball, just a sophomore. Now in to Kyle Arrington. Arrington directing traffic. He's got Jones on him. Jones has got to be careful. He is. Great defense. Alp Kernez with a rebound. He's growing almost every time and every trip up and down the floor.
He really is, and they're allowing them to play in there, which is a good thing. I just think that Denver needs to find Jones now in the post area.
Eastman now to Jones, kicks it over to Jace Townsend. Townsend's going to work free, back up to Alp Kernez. Ade with the rock, he's going to spin in and got caught a little bit too under. I think if he would have gotten near side basket, would have had a better opportunity.
Well, he was able to spin in between 2 defenders there and just got himself caught a little bit.
Western Illinois down on the baseline. There's going to be a foul here, and I think it's Roscoe Eastman. Time for a break. 10:08 left in the opening half of play. 19-9, the bank 3. You gotta call it.
Rock a showstopper, beats, get it crunk and wired. Wave your hands, scream loud. Everybody here, get it out of control.
In its 4th decade, the Summit League continues its ascent through excellence in the classroom and success in the field of play. In cities big and small, at public and private universities, more than 120,000 students across 9 institutions reach for the summit. From academic All-Americans to NCAA champions and nationally ranked teams, Summit League student athletes achieve the pinnacle of success. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a denting range. No gimmies on that one, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. So get a quote at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium. 10:08 to play in the opening half of play. Pioneers off to a 10-point lead at 19-9. Let's take a look at the driving around the league standings brought to you by Toyota. You see South Dakota State there with 13-3. North Dakota State hosts Omaha today. Should North Dakota State win, they win the tiebreaker. They would be the number 1 seed, which means the winner of Denver, Western Illinois would play North Dakota State. Should North Dakota State lose, it will be South Dakota State as the number 1 seed, Greg.
And Denver seems to like the matchup against South Dakota State a little bit better. You know, anytime you go up to Sioux Falls and play in that tournament, obviously it's a pro-Dakota crowd, something Denver's had to contend with for the last 4 years. So, but again, they might match a little bit better against the Jackrabbits.
Absolutely. This Western Illinois team now 3 of 15 from the field as they drive in. That's going to be a charge foul. And checking into the game is Giovanni Bickham taking that charge. And you're going to see some big men getting some opportunity today with Nzekwezi out.
Well, I tell you what, Bickham could see that coming from a long way out and did a good job getting himself positioned and run over.
Under the 10-minute mark in the opening half of play, things going well for the Pioneers. Townsend bounce pass in, a little too strong for Bickham. It's going to be kicked around. That's a turnover for the Pioneers. Jones with the basketball. He's into the lane, going to kick it back outside to Webster. Webster, you see that motor going. That's going to be off balance, no good. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Tristan Green. Back come the Pioneers. Townsend kicks it out. Roscoe Eastman's going to let fly. That one no good. So the Pioneers hitting a little bit of a cool streak right now.
Yeah, kind of 2 bad possessions by Denver. The turnover, but here comes Tristan Green leading the break.
Green gives it off to Gatlin. Gatlin behind the back. Pioneers having a little razzle-dazzle. Tristan Green on the payoff end.
Well, I'm not sure that's how you want to draw it up, but the end result ended up being favorable for the Pioneers. So
a little
move
flashy.
on.
A little flashy, right? 21-9 Pioneers with the lead. CJ Duff with the basketball now. Webster on the wing. Going to kick it up top to Zion Young. Now back low and to James Clark. Clark's going to be a charge in the second charge foul picked up by Giovanni Bickham.
And that's what you want to see out of a guy that comes into the game, hasn't played a lot of year, but gets himself involved defensively. Second time here we've seen him pick up an offensive foul or draw an offensive foul.
And that's no flop. That was great positioning. That was a charge. Definition of a put in the dictionary. Bickham with the basketball now to Ade Murkey. Going to elevate. That's his shot. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
You know, a year ago we talked about his ability, 15 feet and in. He's obviously extended, his game beyond the arc, but that's his bread and butter, that 15-footer.
I think he's got the ability to play overseas, there's no doubt, like a couple of the recent Pioneers. Western Illinois has won for their last 9 in shooting, and they commit a team foul here. Their team fouls are rolling up now. That's their 5th.
If he had had just a little bit more time here, I think you would have seen one of those patent takeoff tomahawk dunks, but just got undercut there.
So Ade Murkey, his next point will put him into double digits already. Pioneers with 5 team fouls. Western Illinois the same.
We talked about the importance of Denver getting off to a fast start, and they've done just that here this afternoon.
Second free throw also good. Murkey now with 11 points on the day. 15 more points and he moves into 16th all-time, and his parents enjoying watching their son play his final regular season game for the Pioneers. All the way in is Anthony Jones, the 6'5", 190-pound junior.
Oh, what a way to make up for a bad play there. Bickham a little careless inbound in the ball, but nice job with the block shot.
Eastman kicks it back out. Look at Tristan Green with a one-touch pass, and the foul's going to be on Arrington on the baseline. The Pioneers will have free throws. 7:42 to play in the opening half. The Pioneers will open up a 14-point lead in the battle for the 8th and final spot in the Summit League Conference Tournament, and it looks like that berth may go to the Pioneers. They've got a lot of work to do, but they've got a good start at 25-11.
DU takes on Colorado College March 7th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets at denverpioneers.com.
I'm gonna be a ballerina.
Good, better, Emma. Answer to new.
I'm gonna be president.
And the winner for president is Emma Williamson.
I'm gonna start a juice bar.
Emma, the numbers are looking really good. You're gonna start a juice bar.
At U.S. Bank, we believe hard work works. And for everyone working toward a goal, we are here to help.
People would rather visit me than shop for a car. And I'm a dentist.
Car Gurus, and the less painful way.
I used to find car shopping painful too. But then I found Car Gurus. It was so easy for me to be very specific about what I wanted. And then Car Gurus showed me how good of a deal I could get. Or not. Once I saw the dealer had a 5-star rating, I was on my way. This is my car, and that's my deal.
Go to Car Gurus today to find great deals from top-rated dealers near you.
Welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium. The Pioneers with a 25-11 lead and a 9-0 run. Time for the Alumni Report, brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery. Chase Hallam played for DU for 2009 to 2013, named second team all-conference twice in 11 and 13, ranked second in career steals, tied for fourth for most games played, currently resides back in his home state of Texas, but a Pioneer in heart.
Him and his brothers, the Hallam brothers, and I'll tell you what, there wasn't a guy tougher than Chase Hallam. I mean,
really?
Whoa. He brought it every day.
Check that, I said Pioneers on a 9-0 run, an 11-0 run. And a chance for more as Giovanni Bickham gets a chance to enter into the scoring sheet.
The scoreboard up there are stuck at 5 because they got the setting wrong and it's in there for the women's. So it's not going to go up as we call fouls. Okay.
So the official telling us there's a women's game that's been played in Hamilton Gymnasium, and when they set the scoreboard, because the women's games are played on a quarter system, they're allowed 5 fouls per quarter before they're into the bonus. So it will not go above the 5 fouls. So we're going to have to keep track of it on our score sheet to do the best that we can.
See, this is the problem with technology, Todd.
It is.
I remember back when they would just hold up a
sign,
a paddle,
which
with the
works.
number.
So I believe that's either the 6th or the 7th foul. Team foul 6, so the next one will be 1-1, but that one by Bickham is in and out, no good.
I mean, we're seeing the short shorts come back into the college game. I mean,
so both team, Western Illinois have 6 team fouls. The Pioneers have 5. So the next one by Western Illinois will be 1-1 free throws. 25-11 Pioneers. Tristan Green with the basketball now to Ade Murkey. Murkey looks inside to Bickham. Bickham turns. Nothing here. Cross-court pass. Gatlin's going to put it up from 3. That one's going to be short. Thought about it a little too long. A rebound's going to come out to Anthony Jones. Jones going to stop. Pop. Got it.
I tell you what, watching Gatlin, I mean, his lower body is just a mess.
Cockeyed.
I mean, he's fought injury all year long, and right there, he didn't want to shoot that ball because he just can't get his legs underneath of him.
Townsend with the rock. Townsend with just 2 points on the day. That one's going to be off balance, and he gets that one to roll off the window. And a steal here by Gatlin, overplaying that. Remember earlier I said that he'd been
pressing, and he gets his own rebound. That draws the 6th team foul, make that the 7th team foul. It'll be a shooting foul, 2 shots.
I tell you what, I just admire the courage of Taylor Gatlin. Just snuck right back into that play. Western Illinois careless with the basketball. Gatlin recognizes and going to get himself to the free throw line here.
Got some atmosphere in Hamilton Gymnasium. I kind of like it. The fans are on top of you a little more.
Well, if they can win this one today, since they decided to come over here and play, they'd be 3-1.
Yeah, that's not bad. Take it. First free throw rattles around and out. Substitutions for the Pioneers. Robert Jones coming in, as is our man, Mr. Bank, Alp Kernes. Mr. Bank.
Giovanni Bickham did a nice job giving the Pioneers some minutes there. Robert Jones keeping him out of foul trouble and
drew 2 charges as well.
Should be able to finish off the rest of his second half.
Second free throw is up and good by Taylor Gatlin, and he will be substituted in for as Roscoe Eastman comes on the floor for the Pioneers. So set up for the Pioneers, you'll have Robert Jones, Alp Kernes, Roscoe Eastman, Jace Townsend, and Ade Murkey. Western Illinois reverses the ball. Pyle's got it. Pyle outside the 3-point range. He's going to drive on Murkey. Murkey bodies up. Now it's kicked out to Webster. Webster guarded by Eastman. He's come along as a freshman as well. This one's going to be put up in the outside by Anthony Jones. That one's no good. Rebound by Ade Murkey. Townsend out of control going in there, trying to get the layup and unable to do so. Back comes Webster. Now C.J. Dove. C.J. Dove's going to have that ball poked away by Ade Murkey. Murkey now with the basketball. Try to hurry that pass over to Jace Townsend. It's going to be swatted out of bounds.
Yeah, one more bounce there, and he creates a better passing angle and finds a wide open Townsend.
Sometimes the Pioneers in a little too much of a hurry. It's led to turnover numbers for the Pios this year.
But whenever you get in transition, the most important thing you can do is just create space. Denver was a little bunched up there.
Murkey's 3-pointer just rolls out. Had a good look at it. He's 4 of 8 right now. Jones on the wing, bounce pass into Webster. So far, Webster's been bothered, but that one's going to be arc off the rim, no good. And Webster stuck on just 3 points. He's 1 of 8 shooting, and there's the careless turnover of the Pioneers when they're trying to hurry it just a little too much.
Yeah, what's the old saying? Be quick, but don't hurry.
5:20 on the floor, timeout on the floor, and the Pioneers have a 15-point lead at 28-13. Let's take a look at the defense. You talked about Giovanni Bickham being able to come in, and with this game, you've got Nzekwezi, one of your big men out, so you know you're going to go out deeper into the bench, and he's done a tremendous job so far.
Yeah, Bickham stepping right up there, taking the charge. Not quite as good a job there, but right here was the play that I really, boom. Again, he knew that bounce was coming from that offensive player, and then Gatlin, we've seen this from him all year long. I mean, that's one of the things he brings is being able to put pressure on the basketball and get your defense started.
You know, one of those plays for Giovanni Bickham, you saw him got beat for a layup, but on that, you realize you're beat. It's early in the game, and you don't compound the problem by making a foul.
That's exactly right. And how often have we seen Denver this year throw teams into that bonus early on and then just watch a free throw game all the way.
Webster showing his ball handling skills, and the Pioneers' Towns is going to fight for the basketball and come up with it. He's got Ade Murkey, going to pass off to Murkey. Murkey's going to get the easy layup. He's got 13 in the first half. He's halfway to 26, climbing the scoring charts.
Western Illinois is doing not a very good job of getting back defensively. Denver just needs to keep putting pressure on him.
Ben Pyle tosses up from 3 and gets it to go.
Pyle got the Pioneers for 21 when they met in Macomb here a month ago.
Ade Murkey is now past Dick Brott for 18th on the all-time scoring list. He now has 1,214 points, and Robert Jones showing the left hand again.
Well, and he starts off going towards the middle of the lane, does a nice job of getting his feet crossed over and using that left hand.
So Ade Murkey into 18th all-time on the scoring list, has the possibility of moving to 16th on the day. Powell gives off to Anthony Jones. Jones has had a decent game. The floater here, that's going to be no good. Rebounds to Roscoe Eastman. Again, Eastman's been one of those players that shows flashes, and he's matured as the year's gone on as well.
Well, the thing for him is just take care of the basketball. And if he can just come in, not turn it over, he can get Denver just what they need.
Eastman from three, that one too strong. So the Pioneers tossing up a couple triples, and when you've doubled Western Illinois in the scoreboard, you can afford to do so. Pyle's going to throw it up again, his second three in a row.
That's what he can do right there. Great, great shooter. He's got Western Illinois, at least with the oxygen mask still on.
Yeah, 6'5", 185 pounds, sophomore, averages 11.8 a game. Pyle already has 6 on those 2 threes. 3:14 left to go in the opening half of play. Pioneers have controlled the pace. Murkey's going to be fouled. He'll be going to the foul line as the Pios are in the bonus. All right, time for a break. 3:09 left in the first. 32-19. The Pioneers going to the foul line. They are at the charity stripe looking to add more points. Back in a moment.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it right.
USAA insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for. USAA.
You know what they don't say. If only I had done more banking. We know that life is about living. So go live. And we'll take care of the rest. We are Canvas, official credit union of Denver Athletics. Go live.
My dad had been sick. I was terrified. It felt like I was by myself.
Breathe.
That moment showed me the importance of the interaction between two people. That is what inspired me to get into healthcare.
Pioneer Basketball on Altitude is brought to you by Freddy's. 12 Denver Metro locations. Visit us at freddysusa.com. All right, welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium where the Pioneers are on top and doing a great job so far. But take a look at the all-time DU scoring list. Ade Murkey has passed Dick Brott into 18th. He now has 1,214 points, headed to the free throw line. And we just saw Chase Hallam. We just did a little bit on him. And Ade Murkey with 2 free throws can now tie for 17th, correct?
Well, if Denver can win today, he'll get another game to continue to add on to that total.
Yeah, I got an opportunity to break into the top 15. And that free throw no good, so we jinxed him. Ade with 13 points in the first half. In his past 7 games, he's averaged over 25 points a game. Great opportunity there by Jace Townsend getting in on the defensive side. And let's not forget that Jace Townsend is playing with a very painful plantar fasciitis as well.
That's one of the things Denver, coming out of timeouts, has done a really good job all year long, is kind of changing up what they're doing, whether it's offensively or defensively. Right there, we saw him bring a double team.
Western Illinois kind of get down low, trying to post up and get the basketball. Roderick Smith into the game, and Smith is going to power up. He misses it 2 times, and finally Giovanni Bickham comes down with a free throw. There's going to be a jump ball as Kyle Arrington fights for it. Possession error to the Pioneers.
Yeah, that's such a tough play for a big guy because you're trying to take care of the basketball, but you got guys reaching in there, and the last thing you want to start doing is throwing elbows because then it turns into a flagrant against you. And Bickham, I mean, I'm not sure where you should go with the basketball here. I'd like to see the officials blow the whistle.
Yeah, on that one I would. Murkey with the rock, he's up top. Murkey's going to dribble into his shooting range, the spin, gets closer, he's going to be fouled going up. That might be foul number 9, I believe.
Just such a great example of how difficult it is to guard Murkey. Pyle did a pretty good job of getting him stopped, But then here comes that spin and that athleticism and ability to hang in the air. Pyle reaches and puts Murkey at the free throw line.
All right, this will be a 2-shot foul for Murkey. Hits the first one for 14 points. The next shot, it will be double bonus for the Pioneers for the final 2 minutes and 23 seconds. And they've stayed out of the bonus so far. Second free throw is up and good by Ade, and now he does tie Chase Allen for 17th all-time on the DU scoring list with 1,216 points. Next up is Dave Colignon at 16th. Murkey's going to be whistled for the foul, a little too aggressive on the point. And I believe that will put them within one of the bonus with their 16 fouls. The Pioneers had 1 to give, so with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, the Pioneers have not sent Western Illinois to the foul line, and that's been a change of pace from the past 5 games. Pyle's going to toss it up from 3 again. He's hit 3 in a row.
3-0 and talking a little bit of trash to Murkey.
12-point game, 12-point lead for the Pioneers on the strength of Ben Pyle's 3 threes. Western Illinois is still in this game. $1:45 left in this opening half. Pickham looking for Townsend. Good defense by Western Illinois. Green bounce pass backdoor. Beautifully done. Taylor Gatlin on the payoff end.
Green showing the ability to move the ball. That's the second time we've seen him make a nice pass and easy basket for the Pioneers and a rebound for Green. Here it comes to Pios.
Yeah, Green's played a lot better since getting standard minutes. Chase Townsend's going to take it to the rack. And he's going to be called for the offensive foul.
I like his aggressiveness. So Townsend made the right play right here. It's the right play. Whether or not it was the right call or not, it's a 50-50 deal. That one went against Townsend, but you just want to see guys continue to do the right things.
I think Pyle's going to try it again from 3, and Murkey's going to be defensed much better, and that was the air ball of the utmost. Tristan Green's going to belly up, go to the rack, tries to go ups and downs, and that's going to be blocked by Arrington. Arrington back with the basketball, gives it to C.J. Duff. Officials with the timeout, and there's an injury down under the basket, and clutching his left knee is Kyle Arrington, and you never like to see that.
Well, hopefully they just bang knees. That's what I'm hoping. There was a lot of contact on the play. So we see him right there, and that's exactly what happened. Is his Green's left knee. Watch it right here. Boom.
Yep, right knee on
the
knee.
Inside, and that hurts.
Yeah, he's writhing in the ground in pain right there with 49 seconds left in this opening half of play.
Hopefully nothing structural and just a bruise, and they can get the big fella back up.
Yeah, those sting. I like to see that the officials called that timeout right away. Sometimes they let play continue. And when somebody's banged up, that's the right call.
Denver's had a chance here to kind of get away from Western Illinois, but Pyle for the Leathernecks and those 3 threes has kept them within shouting distance.
And keep an eye on this because Arrington goes out. He's really their legitimate big man that can board, and I thought he hyperextended that when he came down. They're going to make his way over to the bench. That looks a little more than a bruise, but let's hope for the best. We'll update you when we can.
Well, as you mentioned, he's really the only guy inside that presents a challenge defensively. I mean, kind of a little bit of a rim protector there for the Leathernecks.
Webster, who averages 17 points and leads this team, has 3 points in the half. Webster's going to have that rejected by Taylor Gatlin with great defense.
I wonder if Gatlin could have been a defensive back. The way he moves his feet.
Webster's 1 of 9 shooting so far. Ade Murkey's going to have an opportunity to get and go, and Pyles barely survives that. Dishes back outside. Duff's going to let it go. That one's going to be short. Pyle with the rebound. I thought Ade Murkey had a big slam dunk in his future. Not to happen. Webster's going to yo-yo in, and he's going to be 1 of 10. Pioneers with the rock. Jace Townsend now going to pull up. Jumper, that's going to be in and out, no good. Gets the rebound, going to get a second try. That one also no good. Can't find the range.
Murkey did such a good job keeping it alive, giving Townsend one more look, but it wasn't enough.
Webster's going to get one off before the buzzer, and Webster hits a three, and it's an 11-point deficit at halftime. So on the strength of 4 threes late in the half, Western Illinois cut the lead that's been as many as 15 down to 11.
I'll tell you what, we're going to have quite a second half here. Western Illinois is not going away.
No, they're trying to stay in this. Ade Murkey with 15 first half points, and the Pioneers up 36-25. The winner gets into the Summit League tournament, the loser home for the season. That's what is on the line for this game. We'll be back with the U.S. Bank halftime report.
Bossy, just looking at my kids like I'm bossy. Bang, bang, bang. Find out the Y letter S to the base, step London and mid on edges. Is it?
An incredible shot! Nuggets fans, what a start to this season. Mile High City Magic is back. These Nuggets are one of the deepest teams in the NBA. They'll D you up and run you off the floor. But if you're a Comcast customer, you've missed it all. Don't let Comcast steal any more this Nuggets season from you. Tell Comcast, put fans first. Show the games. And Doug.
Give me your hand! I can save you! Lots of money with Liberty Mutual! We customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
With Metro by T-Mobile, Tamira rules. While setting her sights, refining her skills, and taking the steps to move up. She's putting in the work to get promoted to center court. Thanks to the best unlimited plan in wireless. Get one line of unlimited, just $40 when you switch. All on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Metro by T-Mobile. That's all Tamira needs to rule her day.
Hey Mom, I can't wait to tell you about today. I met a new friend. It's great to meet someone who really understands. She lost her dad last year. I really miss you, Mom.
TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, provides resources, support, and comfort to heal the hearts and meet the needs of grieving military families. Help us at taps.org/family.
Welcome back to Hamilton Gymnasium. A few of the Denver alumni in attendance going way back. They see their Pioneers up 36-25. Welcome to the U.S. Bank halftime report. Denver men's basketball lone senior Ade Murkey has taken his game to new heights in his last year on campus. We caught up with Murkey to talk about what he was taking away from his experience as a Pioneer.
I really wouldn't change it for the world, to be honest. I came here as a freshman, really immature. I feel like as these 4 years have gone even further, I've matured a lot. I've learned a lot from these coaches, the old ones and new ones, my teammates. But all in all, it's been great. Honestly, I'm grateful. I never really get the chance to tell him that many times how grateful I am. But him just believing in me. Coming out of high school, I signed late. A lot of the interest I had kind of went away my senior season in high school, but Coach Billups just believed in me. And forever that, I'm grateful. Me being with Coach Billups' first recruit, I didn't want to let him down. His name holds a lot of weight, and I wanted to make him proud. So each year I try to take my game next level. It kind of went slow for a little bit, but like you said, this past season, or this season right now, I stayed over here this past summer, worked out with Coach Thorne, I worked out with Coach Gary, got stronger, got better on the court, and as you can see, it's paying off. Coming in, I've always been like the little clown, I guess you could say. I want to make everybody laugh, I want to be friends with everyone. And I think I've learned when to control that, when the time is right to be that funny guy, be the leader. I don't think I'm still good at it all the way, but me being Coach Billups' first recruit, and this season only having all underclassmen, I kind of had to learn and accept that role of me being a leader, of me trying to get everybody on board because I've been with Coach Billups the longest. I know what he wants. Well, first, at the end of the game, I got a standing ovation, which was really cool, especially coming from South Dakota State. But I mean, I spent hours in the gym with Coach Thorne, a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, a lot of tears. It was kind of crazy because it kind of just happened out of nowhere. I didn't even know I had that many points at the end of the game until one of the players from South Dakota State was like, yo, you did your thing tonight. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, 42. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. So I don't know, it's just amazing. Stay the course. I know my freshman year, I started right away, and I slowly stopped playing. And I started playing a little bit later on in the season. But at that time, I don't know, basketball was hard for me, but I stayed the course. I kept believing in me, believing in God. So I was just telling him to stay the course and just work hard because honestly, anything is possible.
Ade Murkey has continued to grow as a Pioneer, and hopefully he has the postseason on his mind. Highlights and stats coming up for the first half as the U.S. Bank halftime report rolls on.
Welcome to Freddy's. How's it going, bud?
My parents said we're going plant-based. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good. Every once in a while, a kid needs a treat. A dirt and worm sundae, please.
You got it, sir.
If you're gonna be bad, it better be good. Being bad never tasted this good. Freddy's, the experience that puts a smile on your face and the taste that brings you back.
28, please. I got the moon. You have a good day, man. All right, take care. You guys want to compete? I got something for you. Watch this. Take this, take this.
Okay, here you go, ready?
Nintendo Switch is my way to play.
We made USAA insurance for members like Kate, a former Army medic made of the flexibility to handle whatever Monday has in store and tackle 4 things at once. So when her car got hit, she didn't worry. She simply filed a claim on her USAA app and said,
I've got this.
USAA insurance is made the way Kate needs it. Easy. She can even pick her payment plan, so it's easy on her budget and her life. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
USAA. After 40 years on the water, Tracker Off-Road brings quality and value to the land. This is the Tracker 800 SX. It's not afraid of hard work. It's not afraid of the roughest ground. It's not afraid of a heavy load. And it's not afraid of being very, very quiet. A breakthrough American value starting at $11,399 plus freight. The Tracker 800 SX does it all.
Dear Winter, it's been fun getting to know you. Sleet, blizzards, ice. I love that you don't hold back. We didn't take it personally when you tried to bury us under 6 feet of snow. It's cool. You do your thing, and we'll do ours. Stay chill, Toyota trucks.
Right now, get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2020 Tundra, or get $2,000 cash back on a new Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, my name is Ethan Walker with the Denver men's lacrosse team. Join us as we take on North Carolina Sunday, March 1st at 12 p.m. Get your tickets now at denverpioneers.com. Go Piles!
Your Pioneers take on North Carolina Sunday, March 1st at 12 p.m. Get your tickets at denverpioneers.com.
Welcome back to the U.S. Bank Halftime Report. 36-25 in favor of the Pioneers. The winner of this game moves on in that 8th slot to the league tournament. They'll take on either North Dakota State or South Dakota State. And Todd Romero alongside Greg Lackey. What do you like from the Pioneers early on?
Well, he got off to a good start like we were hoping and moving the basketball, but I thought it was on the defensive end that kind of fueled what they were doing offensively.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half of playing. The Pioneers started quickly coming out of the gate. Bob Jones, backdoor cut and a great slam by Tristan Green, and Jones making an impact early.
Yeah, the freshman just continues to get better, and then Ade Murkey decided he's going to take over.
Yeah, he started a little bit slow, but then Murkey hitting this three. He's got 13. I actually checked that 15 points in the opening half of play from mid-range. He's got long range, doing just about everything. A little razzle-dazzle here for the Pioneers, and Green with the payoff in, and then showing a little bit of defense.
Yeah, Bickham did a great job coming in off the bench, giving Jones a spell defensively, but here's who's kept Western Illinois close. It's been Ben Pyle.
Yeah, Ben Pyle came through with 3 threes at the end of that first half, and then Kobe Webster had a tough time shooting the basketball. 1 of 10 hits that three, and it's an 11-point game. Let's take a look at the numbers. 9 of 35, just 26% for Western Illinois. Pioneers only 20% from three-point land. That's got to pick up, and 6 of 11 from the foul line.
You know, neither team shot it very well from the three, and Denver's turned Western Illinois over. I mean, Western Illinois is second in the country in fewest turnovers, and they have 10 here in the first half.
Pioneers with 13 points off turnovers of their 36 points. Halftime is in the books. We'll come back in the second half from Hamilton Gymnasium. Thanks for watching the U.S. Bank Halftime Report. Back with action in a moment.
You know what they don't say. If only I had done more banking. We know that life is about living. So go live, and we'll take care of the rest. We are Canvas, official credit union of Denver Athletics. Go live.
It was the first time man walked on the moon. Because he stayed in orbit. Because they guided them safely.
Columbia, this is Houston. Do you copy?
Because she made the right calculations. And because he let them focus on the mission instead of the mess.
The crowd here chanting Grubauer, and that's going to do it as time winds down. Philip Grubauer, his first shutout of the season. 27 saves, and the Avs playing the Sharks.
Another summer day has come and gone away from Paris or Rome, but I want to go home. Oh, I miss you, you know. Let me go home. Be home tonight. I'm coming back home.
Always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Yeah.
Price. And it's Bassett! And Bassett scored on his return to the boys in Burgundy. From Price to Bassett. Wide open. And the Raptors lead against the Galaxy.
Pioneer Basketball on Altitude is brought to you by Freddy's. 12 Denver Metro locations. Visit us at freddysusa.com. Welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium, and there's you see number 42, Kyle Arrington. We saw him bump knees with Tristan Green late in the first half, and it does not look like he will return. He's on crutches with an ice pack at the end of the Western Illinois bench. If you want some good news for the Pioneers, that was the fewest points given up in the first half all year. The previous was 26 versus Jackson State, and the other number is the Pioneers are 4-2 in leading in half. Here we go, second half play. Western Illinois with the basketball, down 11.
I'd like to see Denver get Rob Jones established early here in the second half. He was so good there in the first, and those two fouls got him to the bench.
And I'll tell you what, Pyle picked up where he left off. He gets that bucket. Now it's a 9-point lead for the Pioneers.
Ben Pyle can play. He really can. He just kind of appears to me he's on a team where he's not sure of his role.
Ade Murkey's going to power in. He's going to draw the foul. I think it will be on James Clark, who gets the start in the second half. Check, it's going to be on Ben Pyle. That will be his second personal foul.
You know, you look at Western Illinois, and Pyle doing a pretty good job moving his feet.
And I think on another team, Greg, you'd be right, where you can spread the floor a little bit and get him a little more space and distance.
Well, you know, again, you look at Western Illinois. I mean, Webster, Duff, and Pyle. I mean, those are three pretty good perimeter players who can shoot the basketball. But they don't seem to share it real well.
Ade Murkey hits both those free throws, and the Pioneers leads back up to 11. Token pressure by the Pios. Webster's going to avoid the trap, get it over to C.J. Duff. Duff with the basketball up top, give it back to Webster. Webster now to Pyle. Pyle's got Robert Jones on him. He's going to drive it in, and Ade Murkey's going to be whistled for the foul.
Because of Pyle's ability to shoot that three, now all of a sudden putting on the floor as Denver's flying out at him and gives him a little bit more offensive opportunity.
Second personal foul. C.J. Duff's going to let it go from three. That one's going to be rebounded by Taylor Gatlin. Back come the Pioneers.
That's a shot I don't understand. You can get that anytime in your offense. You come right off an inbounds play and fire up a three.
And you're short a man that you've been out that's your biggest rebounder. Gatlin now to Towns, and he hasn't heated up quite yet. Bob Jones looking, put it on the basket, baseline. He's going to put that one up, kind of a brick. Kind of tempted into that shot. Zion Young's going to let that one go. Just firing away right now on the Pioneers with the basketball. 18:37 to go in the contest. The winner finishes 8th place in the conference and qualifies for the league tournament.
Yeah, Rob Jones' shot wasn't very good, and then Young came down and took a worse.
Jace Townsend with a good look, but Jace has been off really since battling that foot injury. Greg, his shooting touch has been off. He was on fire for most of the season.
Yeah, midway through the season, I'm not sure there was a better player in the Summit League than Jace Townsend. But to your point, that plantar fasciitis, it's bothering him.
Murkey gives off to Townsend. Townsend picks up a screen. Unable to get the basketball off. Now Taylor Gatlin. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Townsend's going to have to move. Now it's down to 4. He's going to drive. That's going to be a travel.
Yeah, the European hop.
Jason's just out of rhythm, and if you've ever had that injury, every step is painful.
Good call by the officials there. One too many by Jace Townsend.
Yeah, that's like our director, Travis Hondred, in high school, traveling with that rock.
I hear he has video, though.
Supposedly. Good defense by Tristan Green, who's found a spot in the lineup. Townsend's going to let it go from 3. Oh, it was around halfway down. It comes back out.
Jace was 4-17 at Fort Wayne the other night. And
2-9 tonight.
Yeah, just a little uncharacteristic.
Yeah. And he had such a great stretch of scoring the basketball. Kobe Webster finding some rhythm and burying the jumper there. It's down to a 9-point lead at 38-29. Need a good shot down here. I'd like to see him pound the basketball inside of Robert Jones.
Yeah, they play off of him at least.
Jones with the screen up to Green. Now to Gatlin.
You know, this is the thing with big guys and all the ball screening you see in college basketball. I always wondered if a team had Jabbar, would there be ball screening?
Ade Murkey had to let that one go. It's going to be a shot clock violation, a poor possession for Denver there. They didn't penetrate. The ball was on the perimeter.
You know, you bring those big guys out on the floor and ball screen, and with a 30-second shot clock, they tend to get lost sometimes. You just never get them established in that low block area.
Western Illinois is going to call the timeout as the Pioneers were putting on the pressure with 16:50 to go. The Pioneers up 38-29. It is a 9-point lead. Both teams have taken some ill-advised shots in this first part of the second half.
You know, there's no rhyme or reason to much of what either team's doing offensively here early. But I get back to Denver and Rob Jones. You know, South Dakota State is winning this league, or at the top, I should say. And one of the reasons why is a play of Doug Wilson. And Wilson's one of those guys that comes in, embraces the post area, and then they work off of him in that post area. You don't see him come out and ball screen much. And I think Denver's going to have to really think about that with Jones, because as we've seen here early, he's pretty special around that basket.
Absolutely. Hey, Greg, let's take a look at what's coming up on Altitude as far as the DU Pioneers are concerned. Great sporting events. Men's lacrosse versus North Carolina. That's first rate versus Townsend, as well as Butler, and women's lacrosse versus Colorado, and men's lacrosse versus St. John's. So a little bit of flavor from everything. We've given you gymnastics, hockey, women's basketball, men's basketball, now lacrosse. Really a great program being established in a relationship here at the University of Denver with Altitude Television as we bring you a ton of action. So far in this game, with 16:50 to go, Western Illinois 11 of 40 from the field. Pioneers 14 of 34, a touch better.
Yeah, just a little bit better.
You look at tough shooting. I mean, you come in and your leading scorer is Kobe Webster, and he's tossing up 3 of 12 right now. But you'd think that you'd have more than a 9-point lead. The Pioneers have allowed Western Illinois to hang around, and that's always a danger. Hey, there's Mr. Big Shot hanging in the rafters. Looks like it's story time with Chauncey.
Well, he's kind of gotten to that age where
he's got some.
He's got a couple stories.
And everybody wants to pay attention.
I was going to say, it appeared that the students were listening.
An opportunity here for Western Illinois to draw within 6 or 7 points here. And despite how bad they've played, find themselves in a basketball game. Duff with the rock on the perimeter, gives it up to Zion Young, check that. Zion Young to Webster. That one no good. Robert Jones with the rebound. Let's see what the Pioneers do down this trip down the floor.
That's an example of what I'm talking about right there. Is Pyle is played pretty well, and he never touches the ball in that possession.
Gatlin's going to be open from 3. He's going to fire that one around, no good. And the Pioneers cannot come up with a basketball. There's going to be a foul whistle that's going to be on 22, and that's one of those silly fouls. And he tried to avoid it. And if that's on Green, that'll be his 3rd.
Which means we'll probably see Kernaz here shortly.
Check that, might be just 2. Pyle's going to take Murkey into the lane, spin around, going to throw up a prayer. Robert Jones pulls down another board. Let's get a shot this time down, huh? Gatlin, that was just too much, too close, and it results in a turnover. It's tough to pass the basketball within a 2-foot length. You got to do a better job than that. 15:45 to go. It's 38-29. It has turned ugly. Back in a moment.
here, get it out of control.
It was a Sunday morning, and a pregnant woman comes in. The nurse ran to the church to get my mother. I was petrified. I waited, it seemed like an eternity, for my mother to return. She came in and instantly took control. She was something special. I knew then that I wanted to be a physician.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it right.
USAA insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium. 15:45 to go. The score is 38-29 in favor of the Pioneers. Hey, the Trans-American Student Athlete of the Week, a graduate student with men's hockey studying accounting, is Eric Fear. A two-time winner of the Dr. Art Mason Award is the hockey team's top scholar athlete, recipient of the NCAA's Elite 90 Award at the 2019 Frozen Four for having the highest cumulative GPA, three-time member of the NCHC Academic All-Conference team. Listen, you can't play forever. You got to have the brains to go along with it, and that's what that DU diploma does for you. Just ask me.
It's worked out well.
Back in the day. I didn't have to take math then. Didn't have to take math back in the day there. Zion Young with the basketball and Pyle with the head fake. He's got Roscoe Eastman on him. Eastman's going to be whistled for the foul as he attempted to get the steal. Need to see another shot of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure there. Looked like to me Eastman just
Looked
did a
pretty
pretty
clean.
good job of staying down and in between Pyle and the basket, but Western Illinois gets the call.
Well, I'll tell you one thing the Pioneers did great in the first half that you don't want to see them do in the second half. They did not allow Western Illinois into the bonus. They've already got 3 personal fouls here and team fouls in the second half. Webster's going to cast off. That one no good. Follows his shot, but Tristan Green with the basketball. It's going to go off Green. Possession of Western Illinois.
You shoot it from that distance. A lot of long rebounds, and Eastman just a little slow to react there.
Webster 3 of 14 from the field, but he continues to throw it up there, and if it stays close, he could be a factor. Duff, and that ball is going to be picked off, and Eastman with a little Euro step. Finally, a bucket. That was a scoring drought of 4 minutes and 20 seconds for the Pioneers.
And that's what Denver did so well to start the game, was their defense that keyed their offense, and right there, much better job defending the ball.
Pyle's going to crank this one up. That one's going to be from a long range, no good. Back come the Pioneers as Eastman gets the board. He's going to turn on the Jets. Webster knocks that ball out of bounds.
That's what the fresh...
He must have stripped that off the Pioneers.
Well, it starts here with Townsend just doing a great job of staying between his man and the basket. Murkey gets the ball, and then here comes that Euro step.
I'll tell you what, Murkey was lucky he didn't get the double dribble there because that ball came down. Young's going to put it in, and that one's good. And all of a sudden, this is an 8-point game with 14:28 to go. Pioneers have allowed Western Illinois to hang in.
You know, when Denver lost to Western Illinois there a month ago, Western was 12 of 24 from the three-point line. And
another turnover by the Pioneers. This is as close as it's been since 16-9, and this is the frustration that head coach Rodney Billups has with his basketball team. The Pioneers now with 10 turnovers on the day.
They can play so well, and then all of a sudden, it's like the faucet gets turned on.
And it's mistakes that compile. The fouls, the bad passes, the turnovers. Duff into the lane, and again the Pioneers whistle to be Townsend. That's the 4th team foul.
Where Denver was so good in the first half of just defending and keeping Western Illinois off the free throw line. As you see the turnovers there, 11-10. Neither team doing a very good job of taking care of the basketball. This half, though, where Denver's got to be careful with is those fouls and getting Western Illinois to the free throw line early here in the second half.
Bad turnover by Western Illinois. Ade Murkey from 3. That one's going to rattle around, no good. Robert Jones, great job fighting for the rebound. Kicks it back outside. Townsend for 3. Got it. Needed that one badly.
Yeah,
Lead back to 11.
That was just a horse contest right there, and Townsend's not going to miss many of those.
Townsend with 7 points on the day. Powell with the basketball now gives it off to Zion Young. Young going to get it off to C.J. Duff. He's going to put it up from 3. That one's good.
Well, if you like to shoot threes.
There you're seeing it. 13-13 to go in this one. The Pioneers hoping to clinch that 8th and final spot for the Summit League tournament, which begins next week, that is. And anytime you can get an extra game for these kids, that's a good thing, a springboard into next year.
As young as Denver is, you losing Ade Murkey.
Tristan Green goes to the rack on an alley-oop opportunity, but timing just off.
Good play by Jones there. I mean, he put that ball right where Green should have been able to finish.
Pyle's going to drive on Murkey. Zion Young's going to toss it up from 3. He hits it again, and all of a sudden, we're down to a 5-point game.
Yeah. Western Illinois has got a bunch of perimeter players out there with the exception of James Clark. So Green, as their 4-man for the Pioneers, has got a little bit of a mismatch there trying to guard in space.
And it's almost like with Kyle Arrington out, it's been a lot better opportunity for them moving the basketball. One more time.
Well, right here, Jones delivering the basketball to a wide open Townsend. But we've seen Jones really move the ball here several times.
And Zion Young comes back and kicking the ball around, opening up the 3-point line, and there it is. Zion Young pops it in, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point game, and in a contest that really shouldn't be that close, Greg, and that's where you get into trouble.
Well, you mentioned allowing the Leathernecks to hang in there, and that's what Denver has done. I mean, in the first half, you felt like Denver should have had a bigger lead than that 10 or 12 points that they had, and here in the second half, that 3-point line, all of a sudden you hit a couple, and now the pressure is really on the Pioneers.
Well, and it's never an effort thing, Greg. It's more like being lackadaisical, not taking care, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and easy turnovers that have been a problem. Eastman on the baseline is going to take it in over the big man and gets it to go. Like his aggressiveness.
I do, and it all started with coming out of that timeout again, trying to get Jones established in the post area. Although they were unable to get him the ball, they had good spacing, giving Eastman a place to go.
Lead back up to 7 with the basketball is Anthony Jones. He's going to get inside and get the shooter's roll, and all of a sudden, Western Illinois is starting to score the basketball.
I would say Western Illinois all of a sudden decided they're interested now.
Yeah,
in
they are. I think they were on the ropes for a while. The Pioneers had a 16-point, 32-16, a 16-point lead. Since that time, really have not played very well. Eastman's going to cast off. That one no good.
Yeah, Roscoe settled there.
At one point, the Pioneers were up 32-16. Western Illinois has now hit 5 of their last 5. It is a 2-point basketball game.
And they have confidence.
All of a sudden, the gymnasium's gotten a little bit quieter. The Pioneers got to find themselves a basketball shot.
This is where the ball's got to go. It's got to get to Jones here the rest of the way.
Second half scoring 18-9. Western Illinois has doubled up the Pioneers. It is 45-43. Back in a moment.
And Doug.
And now for their service to the community, we present Limu Imu and Doug with this key to the city.
It's an honor to tell you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And now, we need to get back to work.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. You know there's a light that glows by the front door. Don't forget the keys under the mat. When childhood stars shine, always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you.
Welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium. 45-43. It has tightened up quite a bit. Second half scoring. They have been 7 of 14 from the field, and including 5 buckets straight by Western Illinois, Greg. At one time, it was a 32-16 ball game, and since that time, Western Illinois has outscored the Pioneers 27-13, and we have a brand new basketball game.
And that's what the three-point line can do. Western Illinois 7-11 here in the second half from the three.
Murkey going to get the shooter's roll. Murkey now with 19 on the day. Needed that jumper. It's a 4-point game.
And another, after a timeout, once again, the Pioneers get a positive play.
And that's the one thing that has been, I'll tell you, is Rodney Billups there's the scoring by halves. You see 36-25 and then 18-11. But Rodney Billups has been very good at drawing up. He knows the X's and O's of this game. It's got to get the personnel to execute that. Pioneers now with their 5th foul of the half, I believe, at the 10:46 mark. Big fella. Going to go to the foul line.
Well, West Illinois, because they've been able to knock down a couple threes, all of a sudden that floor has really got spread, and now you're seeing penetrating pitch plays.
Roderick Smith sinks the first one. You know, when you got Ben Pyle on that team that can hit the threes and late in a ball game, you've got to be aware of him. For the Pioneers, you're trying to think, okay, let's start a run, but it starts with getting good basketball shots, good shot selection. Second free throw's up and good. Again, a 2-point game. Pioneers holding on to that lead. It looked as if Western Illinois was sleepwalking through the first half, and the Pioneers seem to be doing that in the second half. Foul's going to be whistled on Western Illinois. I believe the 3rd team foul.
Denver's just got to get this game slowed down offensively and get the right guy shooting the basketball. That's really what it gets down to.
And remember, last year, the same Western Illinois team went in as the 8th seed in the conference tournament and took down South Dakota State. Alp Kernaz just with another turnover. It actually goes out of bounds off Western Illinois and the Pioneers basketball.
I think the Pioneers were very fortunate there.
I do too.
Kernaz last touched that ball.
And Alp didn't look like he was in any hurry to get it back. Screen by Javante Bickham, and getting poked in the eye was Taylor Gatlin. Jace Townsend's going to get the shot. That's going to be a foul, I believe, prior to the shot.
A lot of contact there on the ball. Gatlin got caught with kind of an inadvertent hand to the face.
Yeah, he's going to come off the floor, and Roscoe Eastman's checking in for him. Also back on the floor is Tristan Green, who I think is a good move at that point in time.
Watch Gatlin here.
Oh, yeah, he got popped in the eye.
Yeah. Young just reached out with that right hand. And
popped him one.
Got him.
Tough out-of-bounds play, but the Pioneers come up with it because of the athleticism. That may be on Javante Bickham. No, it's going to be whistled on Western Illinois.
That was close, but I think really what it was a makeup call for the last time Young came off that screen and got Gatlin. We're just not gonna let him be quite that physical. See if Bickham gets set.
Yeah, he was set. Pioneers with that shot, and that was no good. And Western Illinois has the opportunity to tie or take the lead. Both teams have 5 team fouls as we're right at the halfway mark of the second half. 10 minutes to play. Pyle with the basketball now gives it to C.J. Duff. Duff trying to find an opening, can't find it now, gives it to Webster. Webster's going to go ahead and be sufficient with tossing up the 3 from way outside, no good.
Well, if they're going to run ball screens, Bickham's going to have to show. He just can't stand back behind his defender. I mean, Webster's too good an offensive player to just give him open looks.
Webster's 3 of 15 on the day. The Pioneers have got to get some scoring going here because they just have not scored the basketball. Towns it back up to Javante Bickham. He's going to take it inside. He's going to be fouled by Roderick Smith.
Bickham saying within himself right there, passing on that little 12, 13-footer and attacking the basket. That's what you like to see. him do. I mean, he's come into this game. We saw it early in the first half defensively, and right there offensively making a good decision.
And one of the reasons Giovanni Bickham's getting the minutes is because David Nzekwezi sprained his ankle at the end of practice yesterday. Free throw is up and good by Bickham. He is on the board.
Be interesting to see when Coach Billups decides to bring back Robert Jones.
Robert Jones is starting to play basketball the proper way, and at the end of the freshman year, that's where you see the learning curve take off. 48-45, second free throw, no good by Bickham. Pyle's going to give it off now. C.J. Duff, now Webster. Webster's going to give it to Pyle. Pyle's going to turn back, give it to Webster. Shot clock at 14, kind of working his way into the paint. Going to be an off-balance shot. That one no good. And Webster's going to try to save the ball. It's on the line. It'll be Pioneer basketball. And Webster now 3 of 16 on the day. Tough shooting day for the leading scorer for Western Illinois.
Tell you what, though, it hasn't seemed to have bothered his confidence.
He has not shied away.
Would you say he has the green light?
Yes. Boy, 8:50 to go. This game is going very quickly. 5 team fouls on both. Ade Murkey's going to be short on that one and dives on the basketball floor. Western Illinois with the rock. Give it off to Ben Pyle. Pyle's going to be fouled. That will be the 6th team foul on the Pioneers.
And a real ill-advised foul right there, because Pyle had no place to go with this ball. I mean, he caught it so deep.
Completely out of control.
And I'm not sure that there was much there.
Pyle's going to toss it up from 3, and he's got it. We're tied up at 48. Wow. Pyle is 4 of 7 from three-point land. This is the first tie of the basketball game. Pioneers had control of this at 32-16. Been outscored badly. You know what? When you need a bucket, you go to your best player.
Yeah, and he did the right thing by attacking the basket, not settling for a perimeter shot.
Murkey now with 21 points in this basketball game, and he has been just the man that can get this team over the top. He's averaged 25.8 points per game in the last 5 games, and if he gets to that 26-point plateau, he'll be 16th in DU scoring history. Townsend going to force it. Oh, that was a rounded down. It pops back out. He just can't catch a break right now. That's going to be whistled on Tristan Green. That's the 7th team foul on the Pioneers. It'll be 1-on-1 basketball, and it will be Kobe Webster going to the foul line. We return from this break. 7:34 to go, 50-48 Pioneers.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar.
Level 3, huh? That's a start.
All day, baby.
NBA champion?
Boom, and I really care what my bump into. Bulldozer, make room. Write that pan for the tune. Wish they all had my leg room. Another deal, it ain't even noon. Tour Dior, or sit by the pool. I can do. Hey!
Glad we not like that.
Gatorade Zero. Get more out of zero.
With Metro by T-Mobile, Tamira rules. While setting her sights, refining her skills, and taking the steps to move up. She's putting in the work to get promoted to center court. Thanks to the best unlimited plan in wireless. Get 1 line of unlimited, just $40 when you switch. All on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Metro by T-Mobile. That's all Tamira needs to rule her day.
So you've been hurt in a car crash and now you don't know what to do.
The insurance company is overwhelming, confusing, and just plain frustrating.
They're trying to pay you off with a puny check that barely covers your ambulance bill.
Let alone the ER visit, therapy, and lost time from work.
It's not too late to call McDivitt. We take on the insurance company for you.
And get them to pay you the money you deserve.
Call McDivitt now for a free consultation and you won't pay a dime until we collect for you.
Call 303-I-AM-HURT.
McDivitt.
Welcome back into Hamilton Gymnasium. Got a ball game with 7:34 to play. Pioneers up 50-48 over Western Illinois. Pioneer fans, check out the all-new Breckenridge Brewery Bar in the northeast corner of Magnus Arena Concourse. Stop by and try one of the famous Breck brews or something from our delicious made-to-order menu. Hockey season winding down at Magnus Arena. Check it on out. And time winding down in this one. Quick-moving game, 7:34 to play. And Western Illinois will go to the charity stripe with one-on-one opportunities. 17 fouls on the Pioneers. They were able to stay out of the bonus in the first half, not so in the second.
And now all of a sudden, the rest of the way, the Leathernecks are shooting free throws.
And Webster might be having a tough time from the field, but you don't want to put him at the charity stripe. And he gets this free throw, and it's a one-point game. Billy Wright is hoping his team can come out victorious. Second one up and good. Pioneers lost at Western Illinois 86-80, a much higher scoring game than this has been.
You got to give Robert Jones the ball.
Jones back into the game. Gatlin thought about it. Ade Murkey on the baseline. Going to one-on-one right here. Murkey going to kick it back out. That one's going to be for three. No good. Tristan Green with a rebound. It gets him to go. Great position.
This is such a tough shot for Gatlin. Again, clock was running down, so he was forced to take it. Green, though, doing a good job of getting him on the back side of that shot where most of those rebounds are going to come.
Zion Young with the rock. He's going to put it up from three-point land. He's got it. Western Illinois has their first lead of the ball game.
Well, they found something. You know, they're going right at Green because Green's not real good at guarding in space.
Check that, first lead since 3-2. So the Pioneers are now down a point after winning this game by as much as 16. Stagnant on the offensive end, struggling to find offense. Gatlin now, Robert Jones now to Murkey. Murkey drops the basketball. Shot clock down to 5. Pioneers are going to have to move. Murkey's going to get it, go up. There's going to be a foul called on Western Illinois. I think it's their 16th foul. No, they're in the bonus now. It'll be one-on-one.
It's a free throw contest the rest of the way here, but when you ball screen, you see the two Leathernecks around Murkey. I mean, Jones is really, for Denver, is really not much of a threat off the roll. I mean, there's not a lot he can do. So you go ball screen, and all of a sudden they're going to double Murkey, and they're face guarding Townsend, and really the Pioneers don't have a lot of offensive options after those two guys.
Free throws up and good. We're tied up at 53. Murkey now has 22 in the game. Second one's up and good. 23 in the game for Ade Murkey.
Well, let's see if Ade Murkey can do what he did last Thursday night against Oral Roberts when about this time in the game he
took over.
Yep. And
with that 23, I think 3 more points to move into 16th all time in DU scoring history. 6:13 to play, but the bigger issue is, can the Pioneers close this out? Another foul on the Pioneers. I believe it's going to be on Roscoe Eastman.
This is what Eastman's going to have to learn, is playing a much bigger C.J. Duff right here. And Duff's just going to get that body on you and just out-muscle you to the basket. So if I'm Eastman, I got to make sure I make it difficult for him to catch.
That was the 8th foul shot for the Pioneers. Unfortunately for the Piles, Western Illinois misses that. 2 more and they'll be in the double bonus. 6:03 to play. Pioneers up 54-53. The 8th spot in the conference tournament is on the line. Ade Murkey's going to take it to the rock. Whistled for the foul. It's going to be James Clark.
Nice job by Murkey there. Feeling the pressure, just back cuts Pyle. Once again, that athleticism.
Murkey's 8 of 9 from the free throw line on the day. And again, we talked about what he's done in his last 5 games, averaging 25 points a game. He hits these two from the foul line. He'll be at 25 points for the day. Free throws up and good. Second one is good, and Ade Murkey now with 25 points. Almost half the Pioneer points. Ben Powell with the basketball. The Pioneers need a stop here. See if you can get some breathing room in this last 5:45 to go. Webster with the rock now to Pyle. Pyle looking inside, can't find anybody. Now finds Duff. Eastman's going to have his hands all over Duff, and he's going to send him to the foul line.
Tell you what, Billy Wright's done a good job managing the game offensively here in the second half. When Green was on the floor for Denver, he found that mismatch and took him out on the floor. Now all of a sudden Denver's gone small. Now you're seeing Duff go to work on his much smaller Roscoe Eastman.
That's the 9th team foul on the Pioneers. The next one will send Western Illinois into the double bonus. First free throw is up and good.
So it's a little bit of a chess match between the two coaches. Coach Phillips electing to go small.
Second free throw is up and good. Back to a 1-point game at 56-55. Checking into the ball game will be Roderick Smith for Western Illinois. Just over 5 minutes to play. Pioneers with a 1-point cushion. They had the big lead of the day at 32-16, a 16-point lead. They've seen that whittled down to 1. Townsend's going to take it in. Townsend with a step. That one's going to roll off the rim. No good. And Western Illinois has the opportunity to take the lead this trip down the floor. Pyle's going to turn the basketball over. So every time both these teams have an opportunity, it seems like just that little bit of a hurry costs them.
It's one of the reasons why these two teams have struggled all year long. It's just, it's plays like that, again, for Denver, there hasn't been a lot of points that separated them all year long with their opponent. And it's just a couple plays here and there.
Ade Murkey into Bob Jones. He's going to dribble it, and he put that ball on the ground. He should have gone directly up.
Yeah, there's the immaturity in his play right now. He'll get that figured out, though, a year from now.
Well, the Pioneers need to figure out this last 4 minutes and 45 seconds if they want to dance next week and play in that conference tournament. They have a 1-point lead here. Duff's going to work the basketball in, can't get it to go. Sion Young back on the outside, going to take it from 3. That one's going to roll around, no good. Eastman with the rebound. Back up to Ade Murkey. A Murkey with a little hop step and out the window. That wasn't even close.
Tough shot.
Timeout on the floor, 4:20 to play. Pioneers clinging to a 1-point lead with 4:20 to go. We'll get back to Hamilton Gymnasium in a minute to finish this one up. The winner moves on, the loser done for the year.
Denver hosts Washington, San Jose State, and Alaska Sunday, March 8th at 2 p.m. Get your tickets at denverpioneers.com.
Hey.
Hi.
How's the book tour going?
The tour is going really well, but I can't find my card. But don't worry, I locked it.
Yeah, I saw the text. When did you have it last? You found it.
At US Bank, we believe that hard work works. And in the moments you've worked so hard for, we're here to give you peace of mind.
What's the difference between good and great? Good is when your haircut costs less. Great is when it still meets high standards. At Great Clips, you'll always get the haircut you want for less. And with our easy online check-in app, you'll save time too. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. What's the difference between good and great? Good treats you like a customer. Great treats you like a friend. From saving your haircut details and clip notes to saving you time with online check-in, Great Clips makes your life easier, just like a great friend should. Great Clips, it's gonna be great.
Welcome back to Hamilton Gymnasium, 56-55 in favor of the Pioneers. There you see Ade Murkey and Robert Jones chatting. It's emotional now. You're down to the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Murkey wants to play another day, and both these guys trying to do the best that they can. And I think Murkey's referring to the fact that, listen, Bob, you got to take that shot when you're down low on the blocks. There was no need to dribble that basketball.
Quick story. Last night they had senior night where they got everybody together and so forth. Murkey got up there, thanked everyone, got to his players to say thank you to them, got emotional. As we see right there, But what was interesting about it was the players all got up and went and stood behind him. That's what Ade Murkey has meant to this Pioneer team. Ade Murkey's going to get on Bob Jones, but he's going to make him a better player by doing so.
Well, need to make him a better player in the next 3:56. The Pioneers are now down by 1. Murkey's going to take it in, get the sweet roll. Murkey now with 27 points. He moves into 16th all-time on the Pioneers scoring list.
Yeah, you got to post him. Every time down, just post him and see if you can get him the ball there initially.
And you get him to the charity stripe, if anything. 3 minutes, 35 seconds to go. Every possession now, the season hangs in the balance. The winner moves on to play next week in the league tournament. The loser home for the year. Webster's going to put that up. That's an air ball.
That's a better matchup for Eastman, trying to guard Webster, actually. Webster's not going to overpower him.
No, C.J. Duff's just too big a man. Murkey's going to kick it off to Eastman. Eastman looking now on the perimeter. Pass it into Bob Jones. 8 on the shot clock. Crosses over to Eastman. That's a good shot for 3. That one no good. Can't buy a bucket from there.
But that's the right play.
Absolutely.
That's the right play. Ball touches Jones. Eastman spots up. Catches it in rhythm, just unable to knock it down.
Zion Young and Ade Murkey with the theft. How about a little Showtime tomahawk hammer?
Well, it was Denver's defense that got him off early in this game, and it's going to be Denver's defense here in the last 2 minutes if they want to advance to next weekend.
3-point lead for the Pioneers at 60-57. Ade Murkey with 29 points on the day, but Kobe Webster comes back. It's a 1-point game, and Billy Wright posing on the sideline. 2:14 to go. This can go any way. Pioneers have gone to Ade Murkey. This is going to be on Robert Jones. He puts out that hip. It's going to be foul shots, I believe. Offensive foul, so no foul shots. Yeah, can't do that. It was like a hip check. That's in hockey.
It's just, again, that's one of the challenges with so much ball screening, especially when you get late and an inexperienced player.
Pioneers got a D up right here. Western Illinois in the double bonus, which means any foul is a 2-shot foul. Pyle's going to take it in and backdoor pass. Robert Jones is going to get underneath, and he holds off on the foul, but Western Illinois now up by a point at 61-60.
Denver's going to get a timeout.
Well, the Pioneers have done well out of timeouts, and they're going to need to here at 61-60. Boys, this ball game changed complexion. Ade Murkey, the senior, saying goodbye to the Pioneers after 4 years. The first recruit for Rodney Billups, and boy, when chips are down, you need a bucket, you got to go to him.
He's just, all year long, he has really, really competed. And boy, how many times have we seen this? I mean, just the athleticism and
mean mugging.
Yeah.
Here he is on the all-time scoring list, now up to 16th, and if they can get another game, has an opportunity to move perhaps into the top 14, but they got to do some work here with $1:36 to play in a full gymnasium and the crowd behind him. They just have not played well in this second half.
Well, we've talked about how good Denver's been after a timeout with a set play, so hopefully, they've got something in their arsenal that I would like to see Murkey either get posted or Jones get posted and get him the ball down there.
Last time out, when we saw him come out of a timeout at a crucial time against Oral Roberts, it was Jace Townsend that the play was drawn up for. I'll tell you, this does not go DU's way, Greg. It would be a stinging loss because they had you've got an outmanned Western Illinois team with 6'10" center Kyle Arrington unable to play in the second half, and they have stormed back from an 11-point deficit and outscored the Pioneers by 12 points in the second half.
And it just appeared Western Illinois was not real interested in the first half, but as it went and they stayed close.
Boy, a scramble on the floor for the basketball, and the possession error will be toward DU.
but only 13 on that clock, so Denver's going to have to be aware.
And kind of a reach in, and Ade did a great job getting the ball back onto the floor as everybody was scrambling for the basketball.
There just wasn't anywhere to go. Again, you know, their defenses are going to be so tuned into him, especially off the dribble, and Western Illinois just closed the gate.
Townsend with the basketball now. Now shot clock's to 5 seconds. Townsend's got to do something with it. He's going to shoot the one shot. Hey, Townsend coming out of the timeout, what'd I tell you?
Boy, and if they needed one, that was the one right there. That clock was running down. He took a difficult shot, but as we've seen all year, he makes them.
1 minute to play for the Pioneers. Western Illinois in the double bonus. Got a D up here, and Western Illinois posts up, and Zion Young gets the bucket to make it 63-62.
Between Young and Duff, those two big bodies, they're just taking Denver right at the basket.
47 seconds to play. Ade Murkey's going to spin. There's going to be a foul on Kobe Webster. Ade has been 10 of 11 from the foul line so far in the afternoon.
If Webster would have got his nose in there, it would have been an easy place to pick up a charge, but instead he wanted to reach, and Murkey's going to the free throw line.
Still 1-1 for the Pioneers. That is the 9th team foul on Western Illinois, so this is a big free throw with 44.6 to go. And quiet in the gym. Free throw is up, and nothing but the bottom of the net. We're tied up at 63. See how eerily quiet that got?
That's because there's been noise in here for the Hamilton experience.
There you go. Second free throw by Murkey is up and good. He is 11 of 12 on the day from the foul line. He's got 31 points. Check it, make it 12 of 13. Defensive possession crucial for the Pioneers here. Next team foul by Western Illinois put the Pioneers in the double bonus, and both teams are in the double bonus for this 42 seconds.
And Green's come back in to guard Young. Let's see if they throw him in the pick and roll.
And almost turning the ball over. C.J. Duff able to struggle and get that. 32 seconds to play, 16 on the shot clock. You do not want to foul here. You got to be careful. Webster with the rock. He's going to toss it up from three. That one's going to be a brick, and the Pioneers, Bob Jones is going to come down with it. Jones is going to be fouled. That's the right person to foul. They're going to put him on the foul line. He's about a 50% foul shooter.
Jones could have just gotten rid of that just a little sooner. It was going to be showtime at the other end with Murkey, but now Jones forced to go to the free throw line.
Boy,
we're 43% on the year.
Yeah, you got to get 1 of 2 here at least. And there's 17 ticks on the clock, so these are free throws in the pressure cooker.
Making sure that we have a stop.
They're just checking the time. The officials are here, but how about Bob Jones just going and getting that ball?
Yeah, wanted to get rid of that basketball, but just couldn't quite do it. Well, I'll tell you what, you look at this game, and yeah, it's the two teams that are at the bottom of the league standings, but there's been some emotion here. I mean, there's a playoff berth on the line, a spot in the league tournament.
Hey, eventually every team in America is faced with this. You got to win to advance.
Yep.
Now, some of these top 5 conferences, they can lose in their conference tournament and still get in. But for everybody else, you got to win to advance.
Robert Jones' first foul shot is going to be up and good. And for a 43% foul shooter, that's a big one.
He just continues to make steps forward.
You get one here, you have a 3-point game. You can't lose it on the next possession.
Really important. Denver's organized here going back.
Doesn't get it, but what a great job by the Pioneers. And they come up with the basketball with a 2-point lead. And Jace Townsend's the one you want to get. He gets fouled. Check it. Timeout called by Billups. Head coach Rodney Billups with 12.9 seconds to play.
I know what Coach Billups was thinking, but I wish maybe he could have just hung on to that timeout because he had Townsend who was about ready to get fouled. It was one of your better free throw shooters.
Not only that, that was the last Pioneer timeout. And you see, when they called that time, they have none left now, so they've got to get the ball inbounds. I thought Townsend did a good job holding on to the basketball, trying to draw that foul.
Well, he did, and there's no more 5-second count in basketball, so he could have hung on to it for the duration. Coach Billups selecting to take the timeout. Now, will he get Bob Jones out for, you substitute him for like Kernaz, maybe as a better free throw shooter?
Well, what a day by Ade Murkey. He's got 31 points. Wanted to show his family one last time. We made the trip in to watch him. He was head coach Rodney Billups' first signing out of Minnesota. And, boy, what a player he has been.
And that was the play we saw in the Oral Roberts game where,
yes,
he didn't have a chance to get, both hands on the ball, so he just keeps it alive. Denver runs it down. Now if they can just get it in, someone's going to shoot a couple free throws here to see if they can win this thing.
And you got to get it to your foul shooters, and that'll take it off right there. Pioneers are trying to take the foul shots as if they can get him, and he'll be sent to the foul line. The foul is going to be on number 24, James Clark, with 8.9 seconds to play. And remember, the last time we were in here in Hamilton Gymnasium, the Pioneers were down 5 with 16 seconds to play. Tied it up and won it at overtime, scoring 100 points in a 100-96 victory over Oral Roberts. First foul shot is up and good by Gatlin, and that makes it a 3-point basketball game, and one here can ice it. Just about.
One here, and you're playing next Saturday.
There you go. The season extends for a week, and you all of a sudden have turned an ugly finish into one that is not so bad to look at.
Coach Billups did a good job. He got Kernaz in there for the offense possession. Now brings Robert Jones back in defensively.
Well, you said under 70, and the Pioneers have held Western Illinois to 63 points. You don't want to foul on a three-point shot here. Webster's going to heave it up from 3. That's going to be no good. Time's going to tick off the clock. There's 0.9 seconds to play.
And Ade Murkey letting out a year's worth of emotion as the senior is going to get it into the right way.
31 points on the day for Murkey as he goes to the charity stripe. 9 of 18 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 12 of 13 from the foul line. First one by Murkey's up and good. He's got 32 on the day. What a day by Ade Murkey. He's almost totaled half the Pioneer points in his final regular season game. And the Pioneers will end up 3-1 in Hamilton Gymnasium. They may want to think about playing their home games there. Pios with a 7-0 run to end it. They were down 63-62.
Well, and he's going to go off here with a nice ovation, one well-deserved. What a career for Ade Murkey, the senior from St. Croix Lutheran High School in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
That'll do it. The Pioneers finish 8th in conference. They live to play another week. They will play either South Dakota State or North Dakota State in the first round of the league tournament as they win this one 63-60 over Western Illinois. They earn a season split, and most importantly, they get their 3rd conference win and enough to get in.
And that's all you want. You just want a chance. Last year, Western Illinois broke in and took down the number 1 seed the opening day.
Absolutely. Well, the Pioneers use the Hamilton Magic to get into it. And we come back, we'll have highlights and wrap this things up as the Pioneers win their final 2 home games to sneak into the tournament at the 8th slot. Who will they play? We'll be back in a moment.
Bossy, just looking at my kids like I'm bossy. Bang, bang, bang. To Y, little S to the base, step London and mid on edges. Is it?
Dear Snowboard, it was totally supposed to be your day today. That's why we brought you along. But when we got to the top, I just had to give it a go myself. Sorry. Your turn next time. Maybe. Keep it wild. 4Runner.
Right now, lease a new 2020 4Runner for just $369 per month, or get $500 cash back on a new 4Runner. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
welcome to Freddy's. What can we get started for you?
I haven't had a carb in 3 weeks, and if I have one more sip of a kale smoothie, I need a Freddy's Original double with cheese, fries, and a turtle sundae. Please.
Coming right up.
If you're gonna be bad, it better be good. Being bad never tasted this good.
Bring it on.
Freddy's, the experience that puts a smile on your face and the taste that brings you back.
Pioneer Basketball on Altitude is brought to you by the Denver Post. Register online for The Know, the Post entertainment site, and learn all about the city's fun events and cultural happenings. By 505 Southwestern, the official chip, salsa, and green chili partner of Denver Athletics. Available at your local Safeway stores. By Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Denver Pioneers. By Centura Health, where care comes from. Proud supporter of DU Athletics. And by Breckenridge Brewery, proud sponsor of Denver Athletics. Well, it wasn't pretty in the end, but a 7-0 run to close things out gave the Pioneers a 69-63 win. They win their final 2 home games, both of them in Hamilton Gymnasium, and now they lock up the number 8 slot in conference play. Now they wait to see who they play. Should North Dakota State win today against Omaha at home, they will be the 1 seed. If they lose, it will be South Dakota State, who the Pioneers have played well this year. Let's take a look at how this finished up, Greg, in a game that was an 11-point lead at halftime, but Western Illinois came out and did a great job in that second half, and the Pioneers couldn't buy a bucket, turning the ball over, missing shots, but then Zion Young gets it rolling for Western Illinois.
Well, the Pioneers started this thing really well. Then all of a sudden in the second half, or the start of that second half, just got sloppy and allowed Western Illinois to gain a little confidence and get back in it behind the three-point shooting from a variety of players.
Key point here, the Pioneers talking. Ade Murkey to Robert Jones. Listen, we've got to do a better job here. Murkey posting up, getting the roll. They go on a 7-0 run to end it. Big Showtime slam coming up here for Ade.
Well, Murkey leads off the floor as he gives Bob Jones a little bit of instruction, but it was his on the floor that was the difference in this. 33 points, 14 of 15 from the free throw line, so it speaks to how aggressive he was all day long.
Key shot by Jace Townsend, and there you see the final shot by Western Illinois to get into this one, but the Pioneers hold off and score 7 straight, much like they did against Oral Roberts. These are the final numbers. The Pioneers shoot 43%, just 3 of 18 from three-point land. That really hurt them, but 20 of 27 from the foul line.
Again, getting to the free throw line, staying aggressive offensively, but it was defense that was really the difference here for the Pioneers. And when you get into March, it gets into possession games. It's going to be really important for Denver to take care of the basketball, but then you're going to have to defend.
It is time for the play of the game presented by 505 Southwestern. And what other player would we pick than the man that was honored? His 4 years as a Pioneer is over, and he does it in grand style with 33 points on the day. He did it from everywhere, outside, inside, dunks, and from the foul line.
Again, what a way to go out here in Hamilton Gymnasium, and it just speaks volumes of his entire career.
Yeah, and you look at it, listen, you come up, you get your 7th win, but when you look at the conference standing for the Pioneers, you see Murkey go in here. The one thing about them, Greg, in conference play, they're really only blown out one time. In most of those games, with 5-6 minutes left, they're within 5-6 points, and it goes one way or the other. You go up to 12 points, you come back, you're in the ball game. So the team has grown. I know from the outside, it doesn't seem as much when you're looking at just wins and losses.
Here's the thing about playing the Pioneers. If you're an opponent, you've got to guard Ade Murkey, and he's a difference maker. And again, you get into these games, they become possession games. And when you got a guy that you can throw the ball to go get a basket, that might be all you need.
And his free throw prowess today, 14 of 15. So he's going to be a factor to deal with next week. And we'll find out later on who they play, whether it's South Dakota State or North Dakota State. But as for today, the Pioneers feeling good on Ade Murkey's final day in a Pioneer regular season game. The final score tonight, the Pioneers 69, Western Illinois 63. Be sure to turn us tomorrow, March 1st, as your Pioneer lacrosse team hosts North Carolina. All the action on Altitude at 12 p.m. This has been a presentation of Altitude Sports and Entertainment, your HD home for DU basketball. For myself, Greg Lackey, and the entire crew, thanks for tuning in. So long from the University of Denver, our final broadcast of the year for basketball. 69-63 is your final.